Let's discuss about the new chapter that is called chemical kinetics. Chemical kinetics is nothing but it is a branch of chemistry that deals with the study of the rate of the reaction and what are the factors which is going to be affecting on the rate of the reaction and what are the mechanisms are going to be involved here. So these comes under the chemical kinetics. So here I have used one word that is called rate of the reaction. Rate means the speed, how much time which is going to be consumed here, and rate means the speed of the reaction, how much speed it is going to take to finish the complete reaction. So this is about the chemical kinetics. But here we are not concentrating in this chapter mainly, we are not concentrating on the very fast reactions. Fast reactions means example that is aqueous solution of the sodium chloride. So this is called aqueous solution. Plus it is going to be treated with the silver nitrate. So we are going to obtain the very fraction of seconds, we are going to obtain the product as silver chloride. So this down mark indicates that the precipitation we are going to obtain here, that is called precipitate here, silver chloride plus remaining NaNO2. So this is a very fast reaction, but here in this chapter we are not going to study the very fast reactions. So this is an example for the very fast reactions, and also we are not going to study, we don't concentrate on the very slow reaction. Slow reaction, best example is called rusting of iron. You know this one, rusting of iron, it takes a lot of time to rust the iron, right? So it takes very slow reaction. It takes very slow reaction, but here we are not going to concentrate on this one. So we are going to concentrate mainly on the moderate reaction. We are going to concentrate only on this one, moderate reaction. So moderate reaction example is the hydrolysis of an ester, that is CH3, C double bond O, C2H5. So this is called an ester compound, CH3, C double bond O, right? CH2. That is called ester or fruity smell. When it is going to be treated with the sodium hydroxide, that is called hydrolysis process, here it is going to be involved here. So that we are going to obtain the ethanol compound, C2H5OH plus remaining compound sodium acetate, CH3, C-double-O-N. So this is an example for the moderate reaction. So here only we are going to concentrate in this chapter mainly on the moderate types of the reaction. This is about the rate of a reaction. So rate of reaction which is going to be defined as the change in the concentration of any reactant or product in a unit time. Or also in one other word you can tell that the rate of reaction can be defined as the speed at which the reactants are going to be converted into products in a several chemical reaction. That is, this R is represents the reactants which can be converted into products in a chemical reaction. Or also we are going to see this in the graph. So this graph tells that, so this is the concentration versus time. So always the concentration of the reactant decreases as time increases, like this. As time goes on increases, the rate of the chemical reactants which is goes on decreases, but whatever the products will be goes on increases, like this. So this is called reactant, this is called product. So now let's consider a reaction, that is a reactant to reactant which is can be converted into products. So let's take here the rate of reaction is nothing but the rate of reaction, that is called ROR, that we are going to call as the, what happens here, the decrease in the concentration, right? Decrease in the concentration of reactant with respect to time, right? Within a time interval, that is called time. That is equal to, what happens, increase in the concentration of the product, right? Increase in concentration of product P with respect to time, that is called time interval, right? So here now I am going to consider as a concentration of reactant R1 and R2. So these are nothing but the concentration of the reactants, and also I am going to consider P1, concentration of P1 and concentration of P2. These are nothing but the products which are going to obtain here, and also we are going to consider the time T1 and T2. So these are the time at which the reaction then takes place here. Now I am going to take this decrease in concentration of reactant, that I am going to take as R2 minus R1, because I am going to consider the definite interval of time t2 and t1, t2 minus t1. That should be equal to, similarly increase in the concentration of the product means I am going to write as p2 minus p1 with a definite interval of time t2 t1, right? t2 minus t1. So now I am going to write it as this. I am going to write it as delta R. Delta R is nothing but the change in the concentration of the reactant according to the definition. The change in the concentration of reactant. So that I am going to write it as in the form of delta R. It is called change in the concentration. Concentration means I am going to write like this. So this is called change in the concentration of the product. This is called change in the concentration of the reactant. So that delta R represents the change in the concentration of the reactant. That is R2 minus R1, that I am going to write as delta R, divided by T2 minus T1. I am going to write it as delta T, and that should be equal to, similarly here also, change in the concentration of the product. I am going to write as delta T, and this T2 minus T1. Similarly, I am going to write as delta T. So this is about the rate of the reaction. Rate of the reaction means one should be get decreases. That is called reactant, which goes on decreases as the concentration increases. The concentration of the reactant goes on decreases as time increases, and also similarly, alternatively, the products which are going to be increases as the time goes on increases. So that's why. So these are the delta R, change in the reactant, change in the product with respect to their time. Now I am going to write the sign here. Sign means now I am going to take here negative sign, whereas I am going to take the positive sign. So what are these sign significance? Let's study here. The significance of the minus sign, why I am going to write here. So this minus sign is nothing but the decrease in the concentration of the reactant, means the reactant which is goes on reduces, means negative. They are coming to the negative. That's why we are going to show the sign negative. What about this positive? This positive is nothing but the increase in the concentration of product, that we are going to assign in the plus sign. So these are the significance of the signs for this one reactant. Reaction always negative, product should be always positive. What about this unit of the rate of reaction? Let's say about the unit. When we have used a term here, that is called molar concentration of the reactant, means obviously it is, we are going to measure in terms of the mole per liter per second. Why? Because second is very important. Time is time unit is second, because at what speed the time, or at what time the reaction takes to complete. So that is what time is also required for here. So that is the unit of the rate of the reaction is mole per liter per second. Let's discuss about the average rate and instantaneous rate. So first we will discuss about the average rate. So here average rate means the rate of the reaction. What is the average rate of the reaction? If the word rate of the reaction comes here, means there must be always a reactant as well as a product, right? So that means, so the reactant goes on decreases, the product which will goes on increases with respect to the time. That you know this one. So now I am going to take a graph here. So this graph indicates that, so this is what the concentration of the reactant. So this indicates the concentration of the reactant, and this indicates the time, right? So you know this one. So what happens here? In this case, the concentration goes on decreases. Here the concentration goes on decreases because that is called reactant, right? This is reactant. So at time t is equal to 0, what about the concentration of the reactant? Without time, we are not going to predict the time here. At the time t is equal to 0, what happens? This is, I am going to call as t is equal to 0. At this stage, at the time t is equal to 0, what about the concentration? The concentration of the reactant, that must be here and there, because the reaction is not started. The time is 0. So when the time takes up here, what happens? The concentration of the reactant which goes on decreases here. So now I take the, at the time t1. At the time t1, the concentration this much has here, now it has a decrease in here. At this point I am going to cut here. So at this stage I am going to call this as the R1 because of the reactant R1. So next, after some definite interval of time, at t2, what happens? This concentration of the reactant once again decreases here. At this stage I am going to cut in the point here. So this I am going to call as the R2. This is the R2 at the time, definite interval of time t2. So this I am going to cut here. At the time of t1 interval I am going to cut in here. So this is called reactant R1 at the time t1 and reactant R2 at the time t2. the reactant R1 at a time T1 and the reactant of R2 at a time T2. So like this will take place here. So here you know this one. So which one will be the having the more concentration of the reactant? That is nothing but the R1. Because R1 will be slightly decreased from here. When consider from this 0 initial to this much only decreased. What about this R2? R2 has decreased so many quantities that has going to be decreased here. So that's why R2 should be always lesser than the reactant R1. I mean R1 is greater than R2. Now we are going to apply the rate of the reaction for the reactant only. What is the rate of the reactant? Therefore, the rate of the reaction ROR for the reactant only, that is called change in the concentration of the reactant divided by with respect to time. Right? So here change in the concentration, that is nothing but the R2 minus R1. Now this one R2 minus R1. That is called change in the concentration divided by delta T. Delta T is nothing but the T2 minus T2. T2 minus T1 we are going to write directly as delta T here. So this is now called as, now this one look at here. So this is delta R by delta T. But we are showing that R1, that is the concentration of R1 is greater than R2. When you look at the sign here, R2 is positive, R1 is negative, right? That is opposite to our statement here. So that's why we should always indicate the sign, significance. So now I am going to mention the sign here. So this sign, negative sign, indicates that the concentration goes on decreases. Now I am going to apply this sign also in this case. Now I am going to sign minus sign for this one. What happens? Now apply this minus sign here. Minus R2 and minus into minus plus R1. That is called R1 minus R2. That indicates the statement here, right? So that means R1 should be positive. R1 should be positive. R2 should be lesser than this one. That may be also have the negative values or any zero values. That's why like this we are going to writing the sign for indication of the reactant here. So that is rate of reaction for the reactant, that is equal to minus change in the concentration of reactant with respect to time. Now let's take the for the product. So what happens in the product? So that is obviously opposite this one. Opposite means like this. So this is concentration of the product, and this is with the time t interval. So here what happens? As the time increases, the concentration of the product goes on increases. Now I am going to getting here. But this is was the initial stage. At the time t is equal to 0, the concentration of the product should be 0 at this stage here. So after some time t1 at this stage, now I am going to cutting here. So that I am going to call as the P1. That is called change in the concentration of the product P1 at the regular time at T1. Now I am taking one more cutting here, that is called T2. At the time T2, the product has increased here, right? So this curve indicates the increasing the curve, right? So R1 here, what happens? R2 should be, so this is P2 should be greater than P1. But whereas here R2 is less than R1 means what happens? The concentration goes on decreases here. That's why R1 should be greater than R2. But what about this one? R1 is lesser than P1 is lesser than P2 because the concentration which is going to be increased here. I mean plus sign should be P2 will be there. So let's apply the rate of reaction for the product should be here. So product means change in the concentration of the product P with respect to time delta T. Delta T is nothing but the T2 minus T1 here. So delta P means what happens? The change in the concentration of the product 2 minus change in the concentration of the product 1 divided by delta T. So what about this sign indicates? This sign should be positive. Why? Because positive? Because the concentration which is going to be increased here. That's why we are denoting the sign positive. What happens here? This is also considered positive sign. Positive means P2. Yes, P2 should be in the positive terms. What about P1? P1 should be negative. That's why P1 should be lesser than P2. So this is about the average rate. Now I am going to write the average rate overall. Average rate for the reaction. Now I am going to write as minus change in the concentration of the reactant with respect to time delta T, that is equal to change in the concentration of the product with respect to delta T. So this is about the average rate of any reaction. The limitation of the average rate, this is constant at a given interval of time chosen, but in reality the every rate changes, so at every instant, right? So what happens, that's why they are going to introduce in the term that is called instantaneous rate. Because of these limitations, in order to overcome from these limitations of this average rate, they are going to introduce one term that is called instantaneous rate. What do you mean by this instantaneous rate? Is nothing but the so this is the slope. Now we are going to obtain this is the slope. Slope means the slope we are going to write like this. The slope of the tangent, so this should be the tangent. The slope of the tangent drawn to the curve. So at any instant, here also you may draw here also, at any instant we are going to obtain this curve. So that is the rate at any instant we are going to call as the instantaneous rate. So this is called slope. So this slope comes the value as the negative values. Why it is called negative values? Because of this is the rate of the concentration in the reactant goes on decreases. That's why this slope comes to a negative. What about this one? So this slope, if I take here, if I consider as a tangent drawn to this curve, so now I am going to obtain the slope here. That the slope must be positive value. Why? Because the concentration of the product increases at a definite interval of time. The time also increases, the product also increases. That's why the slope comes to be positive. Why they have introduced here? Because to overcome the these limitations of this average rate, they are going to introduce the instantaneous rate. So instantaneous rate is nothing but the slope of the tangent drawn to the curve at any instant. We are going to call as the instantaneous rate. So that we are going to write it as same as this one. So now instead of this delta, we are going to represent in the D. That is change in the concentration of the reactant. Delta T is denoted as dt. That should be equal to positive values of the change in the concentration of the product divided by dt. So this is called instantaneous rate equation.